Hello, welcome to American Baker in Germany. I'm Michelle, and today we are doing a tutorial on how to make fondant bows. So let's get started.
I'm going to show 3 ways to make bows, using a fondant press mold, using a bow cutter, and if you don't have either of those, I'll show you how to make a fondant bow without any special equipment. First of all, you can use the fondant press mold like any other silicone press mold. Just press the fondant into the spaces and use the back of a knife to remove the excess fondant. Press the edges with your fingertips to loosen them from the form. Then bend the form backwards to get the detailed places out of the mold first. The rest should be released without too much trouble. If you're having trouble with this one, I have a whole tutorial on how to use a fondant press mold. I'll link it in the card. Next, a bow cutter looks like this, and it took me a few minutes to figure it out. Roll out your fondant fairly thin, then press your bow cutter into the fondant. Wiggle it a bit to make sure it cuts all the way through. Remove the excess fondant, including the scraps between the spaces of the bow. Then take the longest piece and fold it in on itself. Then wrap the smallest piece around the middle. The last piece is actually 2 pieces. These are the tails of the bow. Lay them down and place the bow on top. I'll show that again. Fold the longest piece in on itself. Wrap the small piece around the middle and place it on top of the tails. This method gives you a perfect bow every time. Now what if you don't have either of those things, or you just want to make a bigger bow? It's time to make one by hand. This time I won't bother with the tails. Roll out a strip of fondant. I'm making these fairly thin at first, so they'll be close to the same size as the last one we made. Pinch the middle. Pinch the edges, trying to make at least one fold if you can, and then place it on top of the center pinch. Use a small rectangle of fondant to cover the middle. One more time. Pinch the middle, pinch the edges, trying to make a fold. Bring the edges together. Cover the middle with a small rectangle. And done. Let's make a bigger bow just for good measure. Roll out a wider strip of fondant. Trim the edges to be even. Pinch the middle. Accordion the edges to make a few folds and bring them to the middle. And wrap the middle with a piece of fondant. Fluff up the loops a bit. You can even put tissues into the loops to hold them up. I love all of these bows. I use the different methods for different purposes. I use the fondant press mold all the time, but I am in love with the big one. It's so simple and yet so beautiful. For more cakes and tutorials, visit our website at AmericanBakerInGermany.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram.